I just had myself a 0 day in Overton, hitched back out to Echo Bay, and now it's time to head into the Black Mountains and the Jimbilnan Wilderness. You know, that one just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? And hopefully today I'll climb the Cathedral Peaks and make my way down to Lake Mead and camp probably along the shore of Lake Mead tonight, which should be pretty neat. Yeah, and all this stuff used to be underwater at one point. You can see the high water mark up there where it's darker on top and a little bit lighter below. So where I'm walking used to be basically a channel that would have, you know, come up this way a bit. And because of that, all this stuff is left behind from boats. Get this old anchor, an engine here, part of an engine, a couple engines actually, maybe a starter motor. A lot of rocks, no trail. There's a herd of bighorn sheep. And there they go. They're all tiny, little horn sheep. And there's actually a cairn at the top of this hill. I really wasn't expecting that. Oh wow, look at that ridge line. And those are the Cathedral Peaks. That's where I'm going. The obscure places never let me down. Just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean it's not worth visiting, that's for sure. I mean, look at this view. And this is all Lake Mead, the Arizona on the other side. So I just climbed up 1,000 feet from Echo Bay down there. So the town of Overton, where I stayed and had my 0 day, it's really spread out, not good for a hiker. And man, hitching was really tough. It took me like 2.5 hours to get back out here. It's like 20 miles. So I can see why they call it the Black Mountains. But the Jimbilnan Wilderness? What's up with that name, right? It's a story about how this wilderness got its name. This one's kind of lame. It's named for the 3 people that advocated to, you know, make this a wilderness. It was Jim, Bill, and Nancy, and they took the first 3 letters of all their names and just combined it into a Jimbilnan Wilderness. And it's got to be one of the most, I don't know, pathetic, kind of like lamest naming conventions I think I've ever heard for a wilderness. I mean, surely there's something more meaningful than that, you know, like you know, a Native American tribe that used to live here, an early explorer, you know, a characteristic, you know, maybe there's a lot of certain animal or a rare, you know, plant or just something, right? Jimbilnan Wilderness? Give me a break. No wonder nobody's ever heard of this place. So there's actually been a pretty good game trail to follow most of this way. Kind of see a trail running down this ridge here. And it's always a good feeling to, you know, look at the map at home, plot your route out the way, you know, you see it as the most efficient, and then come out here and basically have your route verified by the animals. Well, I'm starting to see why they call them the Cathedral Peaks, with jagged spires and stuff. Didn't really look too impressive on the map, but now that I'm here, I like it. Another herd of bighorns. I hope your grazing goes well today, guys. Well, I figured I'd stop here for lunch. There's really no shade anywhere else. This is like the ideal spot. And lunch today, trash bag pizza. It's a new trail name in the making, right? I got a pizza while I was in town, and I walked back into the hotel and realized, you know, pizza box isn't gonna fit in the fridge. So I went up to the front desk and I said, hey, do you have like a gallon Ziploc bag or just something I can put this pizza in and break it down? He says, well, I got these garbage bags. And I was like, that'll do. So, trash bag pizza. The last section was challenging in some ways, you know, a lot of deep sand, a lot of off trail, but there really wasn't all that much climbing. And this section got a lot more climbing, so that's going to be the challenge of this one. And what a sight. It's ridge after ridge of mountains. Oh, I just crested the top of this ridgeline, and literally right here, 10 feet below me, these bighorn sheep. I mean, they were right there. Probably sleeping, you know? I don't know how they didn't hear me. Oh, these views are just absurd. Man, this is cool. I'm trying to work my way directly this way up to those peaks up there, and you can see this ridge here in the center is going to be a bit of a challenge. Yeah, and this is what I was afraid of. I can get down to this, there's a ledge there, but you know, it's looking pretty cliffy down there. I don't see that working out. This could get interesting. I mean, from this angle it doesn't look too bad, but it's actually pretty steep, and if I can get down there, those ledges could be climbable, and then I can just, you know, work my way around. And you know, with the backpack, this is just so much more awkward. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right, making progress. Some of these rocks, though, I mean, they look like they could fall at any time. Like the slightest movement on these rocks would cause this one to dislodge and tumble down, like this one I was worried about. Yeah, see that? Holy shit. That one's ready to go. That one is, oh man, is not to be trusted. All right, you know what? Get this thing out of the way and maybe yeah, I don't know if that helps me or hurts me now. These ones. Okay. Whew. All right, down. Just climb down all that. Good job. Now I just got to work my way around this steep hillside. Where I'm going next, it's West Cathedral Peak. And here she is, West Cathedral Peak. Yeah, and that over there is going to be the Cathedral Peak's high point, which is my next destination. And then I'm going to work my way down here. You can kind of see a canyon running down there, and then another canyon. I believe it's that second one is where I'm shooting for tonight. And we just had daylight's losing time over the weekend, so just lost an hour of daylight. And I mean, I think I've got 2.5 hours of daylight here, so I'm gonna be lucky just to get down all this stuff, really. And I always thought it was kind of funny that people are excited about getting that extra hour of sleep, because for that one night you get an extra hour of sleep, you've got 6 months where you're losing an hour of daylight, and it's not a very good deal if you ask me. Check this out, little geode, like a mini geode here. It's I guess I'd say calcitiny. I mean, it kind of looks like a druzy quartz. It's such an awe-inspiring place to be, you know. I don't even, kind of at a loss for words. I mean, look at the reflection on all those whites down there in Lake Mead, you know, the play of shadows on all these, you know, really, really imposing cliffs here. I just feel really lucky to be out here doing what I'm doing and experiencing these things. Well, I might regret it later when I'm walking in the dark, but I'm pushing up to the top of Cathedral Peak high point right now, and almost there at the summit. Oh, I had some exposure. Yeah, a little bit of exposure, eh? This is the summit block right here. Probably drop my pack for this one. Cathedral Peak High Point. And just incredible. It's just so vast and barren looking, you know? I mean, you look out at all this and it's like, there's just nothing there, you know? You don't see a road, you know, there's just nothing. It's just an amazingly empty place. And just so strikingly beautiful, you know? There's the summit register. Let's see what we got. There's like 7 or 8, maybe 8 people in here. And it's crazy how many bugs there are up here. There's all these little gnats, and there's so many of them. I thought there was a drone buzzing me or something. I'm not even kidding. Look at them all. Right, where'd I get down? I think it was, there we go. Yeah. Only got an hour and a half of daylight, and I make it quite a ways away. I mean, oh shit. Well, good thing I had my gloves on. I just basically grabbed a cactus somewhere. Look at that. I got thorns. Ow. Ooh, actually, they're going through my glove. Man, I'm trying to shake this thing off or something. This glove's kind of compromised now. Probably never going to get all these things out. Oh man. Oh yeah, there's a couple in my hand now. Oh man. I don't need this right now. I got miles to cover. They're like, oh man, it's like fiberglass. They're so tiny. Well, I wasn't able to get all the thorns out of my glove. It's not gonna happen probably ever, but especially not in a few minutes here. I've just got too much to do here to stop and take that time to do it. So I'm rocking one glove right now, and I got a feeling life is about to get pretty tough. About to drop down into one of these canyons. Looks like there's a couple of spots on the map that's, you know, could be kind of steep, problematic. Oh, geez, kind of starting to doubt I'm gonna get to where I want to get tonight before dark. Haven't seen much for campsites either. You can already see some pretty cliffy stuff up there. You can see some cliffy stuff right here. Man, what a wicked landscape. Oh, tweaked my ankle a little bit on that one. Definitely don't need a twisted ankle right now. Not here. Uh-oh, looks like we got a pour off coming up. Let's see what we're working with here. We were working with no big deal. All right, that's good. I'm starting to get a little concerned that I'm not going to find a campsite before dark. I'm really hoping for here is just a nice big sandy wash. And it doesn't really look like there's any of that ahead. Bighorn sheep skull. It's pretty cool. Hopefully my skull doesn't end up down here. Oh, man, there's some weight to this guy. Whew. Look at the size of this guy. Now that guy's probably going to sit there for quite a while before anyone else finds him. I say it's a pretty wild canyon here. Gotta wonder how many people walk this. I mean, I haven't seen footsteps, cairns. So I think I'm just gonna camp here. I've got a half-hour daylight left. Really can't make it anywhere that I want to make it. So I've got a good spot to camp and an incredible, stunning view of Cathedral Canyon here. And you can really see why they call it Cathedral Canyon, Cathedral Cove. It's only got about 8.5 miles in today, but I didn't start till about 10:30 because you know, I had to hitch out of Overton. So with the train I did today, you know, I got West Cathedral Peak, and then just, you know, it was 100% off trail all day today. Hey, you know, I'm pretty happy with how the day turned out. And look at this amazing campsite, you know. Well, it's dinner time, so I'm gonna make myself this bacon, cheese, tortilla wrap here. It was a nice starry night when I went to bed. And the clouds started moving in. And now I got sprinkles this morning. Wasn't expecting that. There's nothing on the radar. Yeah, check out these gray skies. That's nuts. think it was supposed to be 0% chance of rain today. And then here's a better look at the glove that I grabbed. I don't know what I grabbed last night, but I've got all these thorns in here. I don't want to put that back on. So I'm just gonna rock the one glove and kind of do like the Michael Jackson thing, you know, just the one glove. Ankle's still a little sore from yesterday when I rolled it, but I think it'll be all right. I planned a lot of this stuff to, you know, to get to water at night, a certain spot. And now that I'm behind, it's really throwing a wrench in my plans. I'm gonna need to, fall. Got a hoof, leg. There's actually a little bit of water here. It's only the second time I've seen like a little pothole, a little puddle like this. I mean, pretty nasty. Dig that out and collect from it if I was really desperate, but if I follow this canyon down and then that way, I'll hit Lake Mead. I'm not all that far away. So now I need to make my way down all of this. It's starting to get pretty cliffy. And down into S Cove. There's a place called S Cove marked on the map on Lake Mead. Have a look over here. Might be able to bypass all that stuff. There's definitely a lot of these pour-offs now. Some of these are becoming a little bit of a challenge to work around. I'm almost down to S Cove at Lake Mead, and I've got, you know, another pour-off to work around here. And yeah, it's really starting to make me wonder how this is all going to work out. There's a bighorn up there, another bighorn sheep. Might have to take my pack off on this one. I think I might get wedged in here. So I thought ahead on this trip and brought a length of cord and a carabiner just for this purpose, so I can lower my pack down and, you know, climb this without the pack on me. Just gotta make sure the weight of this thing doesn't take me with it. She down. All right. Now for myself. It's just been a series of these like short little climbs. I mean, they're doable. It's just it's one after another, you know, very slow. And here's some more bighorn remains. This guy's horns fell off. Oh. And the weight of these things, it's just surprising. I must be getting a little bit closer to the lake. You can kind of see the water line now. Paddle here. That is that's gotta be 40 foot down. Very narrow. All right. Wow. It's really opening up now. Can't be too far away. All right, there it is. Lake Mead. Oh, wow. So hoping the shoreline would be a little easier to negotiate here. Well, first things first, time to fill up on water. Get this going. It takes quite a while to filter with my old Sawyer filter. It's kind of gunked up, so I need to get that going now. I'll just hang up my gravity feed system here for one of these barnacles. Let that do its thing while I eat some food and take a break. Just filled up with 2 liters of water. Really not taking that much with me here because I'm going to follow the shoreline here of Lake Mead for about 2 miles. Take me to Cleopatra Cove. I'll top off my water there before I head back into the bulk of the wilderness. Got a feeling the walk along the shoreline here is not going to be a good one. It's going to be ups and downs over a lot of this kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty much at the high water mark now. You can see what kind of challenge I'm up against now. You can kind of just see like a series of, you know, ridges and stuff that meet the water, and I have to go across all of them. Because everything down here is pretty cliffy. And you know, it'd be sketchy to get down to the wash from down there, but that's ultimately where I need to go, down into the wash, up and over on the other side. So the water pretty much ends somewhere right around there. I can't quite tell just yet. Only thing I can tell is that this is going to be one sketchy descent. Probably just slide my way down, I think, on this one. Hopefully a controlled slide and not an uncontrolled slide. Well, made it on the other side. Wasn't as bad as I was expecting. It was a pleasant surprise. Just climbed up over this ridge, and now on this side, on the west side, it's looking a lot more manageable. I could probably follow closer to the shoreline and should have a little bit easier going. I look out at big bodies of water like this and I never find them very calming, you know. The wind whipping like this, you just feel very exposed and vulnerable, and we just wouldn't want to live on a big body of water like this. You go and visit it and it's fine. Small little lake, maybe a nice little calm river, and I can understand that. It's just, to me, you know, big body of water, no thanks. kind of a weird day out here, you know. Normally there's just tons of boats zipping around, but because the 25-mile-an-hour winds, wisely they are not on the water. And for me, it just makes it feel that much more remote and just adds kind of a bizarre and sort of eerie vibe to this place. Well, I've been walking the shoreline for a little while. Now it's time to leave it and head into Cleopatra Cove, which will take me out of the Jimbilnan Wilderness. I still laugh every time I say that one. Into the Pinto Valley Wilderness. I just got my first view of Cleopatra Cove here, and it's not really what I was hoping for. I was hoping that the water would stop somewhere a little bit sooner. And you know, you can see all this stuff's really steep. I'm gonna have to go up one of those hills and just hope I can drop over, otherwise, shit, I might have to swim. Good news for me, I don't have to swim today. You see the water pretty much ends right there. On the other side of this ridgeline is my wash. Now I just gotta hope this canyon is passable. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, I can see one probable pour off down there, and you know, who knows what's here, and then another one there. And maybe follow this ridge a little bit and see if there's a place I can drop down. So I just made a pretty dumb mistake. I forgot to, I can't believe I did this. I forgot to go down to the water and get water down there. Just really, you know, fixated on how I was gonna make my way through this canyon. So I really need to drop back down and get water, because I'm not gonna get water for another day. And then the other thing is that the route up here, there is no way down if I continue up this ridge, unless there's just some sort of ledgy descent down here. So I might be forced to try my luck down below here with some of these pour-offs and just try and climb up them. Oh, before I grab my water, I'm gonna have a quick look at this slot canyon here to see what I'm working with. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty vertical. Wow. Slick rock, you know. It's gonna be a challenging climb. So I really don't know what I'm gonna do yet. All I know is I need water. I'm gonna get some water, rehydrate, chug a bit, take a few liters with me. Think about my options. S Cove was like this too. You get to the end of, you know, the wash, where the wash meets the water, there's a steep drop off. And you know, you can see how the water level was a foot or two higher than it is now. You know, I mean, it wasn't all that long ago. Man, the Sawyer is so slow. When I get to Boulder City, I'm gonna have to Uber into Las Vegas or something and buy a new Sawyer from Walmart. This is just so slow. It's like, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes like for a liter, you know. I had to take at least 4 liters with me. The progress here is so slow. It took an hour and 15 minutes to filter 5 liters of water. It's just ridiculous. Man, that Sawyer filter, I kind of dropped the ball and just assuming my Sawyer filter is going to be good to go, you know, because it was fine all summer, and it was only, you know, 2 months ago, I think, since I used it last. Noticed some game trails going up to the left. I checked the map, and it does appear that there could be a route that kind of goes, you know, maybe up through that little canyon there and then drops back down. It's kind of surprising to see a little cairn there. Somebody's come this way. Yeah, and there's, looks like a cairn. It's really surprising. Yeah. Wow, very manageable. Bighorn sheep path, human path. Well, this is Cleopatra Wash. So far, pretty cool, pretty impressive. Well, the walking's definitely a lot easier now in this wash. A couple pour-offs here and there, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty easy to just walk. Here's a little pool of water. Tons of bees by it. Another skeleton here. Smaller bighorn sheep. A lot of green too in this canyon, I've noticed. Lots of random patches of grass like this. A couple of pools of water. It's probably the whitest canyon I've come across yet. You can even just see the dark color in this soil here, you know? It's moist. If you dig down a little bit, it's probably water. It's probably one of the biggest pools of water I think I've seen yet. And finally just reached the top of Cleopatra Wash, kind of entering a larger valley. I've got less than an hour of daylight left now. Oh look, another pool of water. Oh, this one's been heavily dug out. As much as I'd love to hit all that stuff up there, about a day behind where I'd like to be right now, and you know, I didn't plan for that when I planned my food. And here's a wilderness marker, and this marks the beginning of the Pinto Valley Wilderness. So I'm all done with the Jimbilnan. Well, it doesn't look like much, but I'm going to try and clear out a spot here, and I guess just cowboy camp. Let's clear out some of these rocks. Well, this is last night's camp. Cowboy camped under the stars. Worked out pretty well. So I checked my map this morning. I'm about 15 miles from Callville Bay as the crow flies. But the route in between, I mean, it's going to be double that. Well, now it's time to leave the road and head off trail. I'm just going to be heading this way, make my way towards a peak called the Sentinel. Oh man, thorn bushes. This wash is really starting to be a pain. I haven't really gone through anything like this. This is all just thorn bush, cat claw. Well, screw this wash. I'm gonna head up and out this one. Just like walk a ridgeline above it. I think it makes a lot more sense. Lake Mead in the distance there. But this is the direction I need to go, and you can kind of see just a series of washes to go up and down over. And down in those washes, it's just really easy to lose your direction, or zigzagging every which way. Forget which way you're going sometimes until you get out of them, and then you get your distant view again. Wow. This is actually a nice game trail running all the way down this. And what I'm gonna do, drop down to that, follow this valley up. The sketchiest part of this is just this one section. If only I had hooves and 2 more legs. So one interesting thing about this place, the Lake Mead National Recreation Area, is all the air traffic, you know? Plane there, one just went over there, one went that way. It's just constant planes. And you know, I get it, you know, the airport's here and everything, and this is the flight path, but you know, you notice it after a few days. Really dig these colors. Kind of get a narrow little canyon like this, very colorful. Super enjoyable walk. Kind of missing that 25-mile-an-hour breeze from yesterday. Kind of reached the top of this little crest, and now I can finally see my destination in sight. That is the Sentinel, and that's what I'm about to head to and climb. And that's Pinto Valley down there to the right side of those red rocks, which runs on the other side of the Sentinel, and then down right in front of this valley here. This is Pinto Valley. I've walked that before, about 4 years ago. Now it's time for a quick snack before I tackle that bad boy. So I came from this way and, you know, worked my way up this ridgeline and everything. That was all game trails. Now, the route that everybody typically takes to bag the Sentinel, you know, they'll come from Northshore Road over there, walk through Pinto Valley, and then they'll scramble up the red rocks that are on the other side of this ridgeline that lead up to the Sentinel. These ones are really hairy, and if you touch this with your clothes or fingers or shoes or anything, it just sticks to it like Velcro. I just worked my way around these game trails. That was a bit sketchy. And turning back this way, I mean, wow, you know, just the whole valley opens up, all the redstone down there. Just absolutely stunning geology. Yeah, now the fun stuff begins. Definitely getting to be a little bit more exposure here to negotiate this ridgeline. To work your way down that. It might be a butt scoot kind of thing. Really not ideal with the full pack, you know. That's why people don't do this stuff as part of a long distance hike, but here we are. Yeah, this is super sketchy. Basically, the only way to kind of get down to this part here is to just kind of slide on your butt and, you know, have as much friction as you can. There's no way you would walk this. Trekking poles or not, just not going to happen with that drop off there. That's a death drop, you know. Go down a little bit more and see how it is sliding, but it's so sketchy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm already running behind. This is going to consume some serious time. I don't think it makes sense here. Yeah, I think I've gone as far as I'm going to go on this. I have no doubt I could, you know, do it under the right circumstances, but I think it just makes sense to enjoy the view that I got from this amazing spot and head down and maybe save this peak for another time. I think I'm gonna kind of butt scoot my way down. The good thing about this rock, it is extremely sharp. So it's kind of like walking on Velcro. Man, it seems so much less awkward going up this thing than it did coming down it. If you plan a nice, easy, mellow route, you're pretty much never gonna just in the middle of your plan say, hey, you know what? Look at that peak. I want to go climb that. I'm going to stop what I'm doing, alter my plans, and go and do it. It just doesn't work that way, at least for me. So I like to plan big, knowing that I'm not going to do everything that I set out to do. But you will do at least some of that stuff, you know? Another pour off. Canyon's really looking cool now where the red rock meets the lighter colored stuff. Out of my way, rock. Yeah, it's gonna be fun right there. Well, instead of down climbing that thing over there, this crack here, this weakness, provides a nice spot for me to work my way down. This one would definitely be easier without the pack on. Yeah, it actually is fairly awkward. Oh, Jesus. Whew. And literally every 100 yards or so, there's like a pour off to climb down. Oh, that one is way deeper than I thought. And that's like a false ceiling here. You can kind of see I was walking on top of all that. Huh. This one is going to be quite tricky. Let's see what this thing is like. How solid that is. Oh, jeez. Yeah, no footholds, that's for sure. Oh boy, very awkward. Okay, now I'm down. And here's the little, really narrow little slot canyon thing that I was walking above. I'm down out of the canyon, now entering Pinto Valley. It's a spring called Sandstone Spring marked on the map near here. Oh wow, there's a pipe there and a trough. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it's dry. There's a lot of bones around here. That's where animals come to die. Another bighorn sheep here. All right, well, let's see if we got any water up here anywhere. Yeah, there's water here. A lot of crap. Oh man, that looks nasty. Oh, smells pretty bad. Oh man, you'd have to be kind of desperate to drink this. I guess it could work. Desert water sources. Yeah, I mean, just look at how much crap there is just sitting right there. There's bees doing 360s. So what I'm gonna do is collect some water here and use this piece of women's pantyhose as a pre-filter. Filter out all of the floating guys in here. There's a lot of live floating little squiggly guys. And then I'm gonna filter this, and then I've got some water purification tablets that I'm gonna add to this. This is some of the nastiest water. Oh my God, it stinks. Instead of just putting the pre-filter over it, you want to spread it apart as much as you can to kind of open up the little fibers here, and that allows the water to just free flow in there, and that's still going to block all those little squiggly things. Just so frustrated with this Sawyer filter. It's just taking so much of my time to filter water. I'm filtering for like an hour a day or more, hour and a half a day. Just drip, 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 drip. So what I think I'm going to do is finish filtering this liter, then I'll have 2 filtered, and I've got 2 more. So I'll have a total of 4 filtered liters, and I'm already dehydrated because I haven't drank enough today because I was trying to save my water. But what I think I'll do is I'll fill up at least this and take it with me and just put it in my backpack as a dirty 2-liter bag. And then at night while I'm sleeping, I'll just have this thing just set up in a gravity feed system, and just drip, 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 drip while I'm sleeping. And now I'm walking Pinto Valley. The head of the valley there is Jimbilnan Peak. I've only got an hour and 40 minutes of daylight left today. I feel like I barely covered any ground. At least I got this wash to walk. It's pretty easy going. Follow this through most of the valley. Should at least cover some decent time before dark. And right here in the middle of the wash, another puddle of water. This one looks a lot better than the crap I just filtered. Got a convoy of helicopters coming through here. They came through earlier today. There's definitely been a lot of military action. I've heard some bombs and stuff being dropped. You can hear the echo of bombs and everything in the distance. So you've got Nellis Air Force Base not all that far. And then right here, you've got some old carvings in the rock. Mike was here in 1973. MC Kennedy, 1957. He's got his little McDonald's arch thing. 1953, 73, 57, 22. It's a 99-year-old carving right there. Just the way the sun shines on the Sentinel and, you know, the outcrops of red rock and everything there. Just beautiful. Now that is an interesting looking hillside. 15 minutes to sundown. Where to camp? Sound familiar? Get up out of the wash on top of one of these hills to try and find a spot for camp. And all this stuff's pretty slanted. It's not even close to flat. What a view though, man, what a view. All right, 10 minutes of daylight. Make it count. Oh man, this could work. Bunch of sheep crap, but it's flat. Huh. Yeah, this is it for the ridge, okay. Looks like I'm sleeping on sheep shit tonight. I got myself a spot with no rocks and somewhat flat. Only problem I see is a lot of these holes here. I don't know what they are, rodent holes. So as I said earlier, I needed to filter some water here at camp, and I didn't really have anywhere to set up my gravity feed system. I really don't want to sit here for 2 hours squeezing this. I've got better stuff to do, like write my journal, eat, and sleep. So I set up my trekking pole and I just balanced it in this way. I've got my backpack kind of propped up here with one trekking pole, and then this is sort of leaning at a slight angle against the backpack, and it's actually working quite well. It's not very fast, but it doesn't need to be, because now I've got the time. Nice view to wake up to. There's a bunch of little holes around here, so I don't know if, I think it's a mouse hole. I did hear one mouse chirping last night, so thankfully didn't start burrowing into my bag looking for company. I'm in striking distance of Callville Bay now. Should reach it sometime this afternoon. The store closes at 4, so I definitely need to get there before then. Now it's time to leave the wash I was walking this morning, head up over these hills, and then basically just make my way down to Callville Bay. Still have a couple hours left. So I'm thinking I'll get there late morning. Now that I'm getting down to the lower reaches of this canyon, it's starting to look a lot more interesting to me. Very colorful. A pretty neat wash. Wasn't expecting this. Must not be that far from Callville Bay. Got this old anchor here. A lot of these washes, might have been underwater when Lake Mead was a little bit higher. Oh, look at that balancing rock. That is cool. Wow. And it's basically the end of this smaller wash I've been walking. Leads me into this larger one. This one's called Callville Wash. And I'll just follow this to Callville Bay. Got about an hour's walk. And you can see the high water mark there now. So we're pretty close to Lake Mead. And off in the distance there, some buildings or boats or something. I do have some food left on me. I've got like the big stuff, my dinners, tortillas, cheese, some pepperoni and bacon and stuff. Other than that, my plan was to resupply here with some, more like snack items, because that's all they have, so some beef jerky and chips and things. And that should hold me over till I get to Boulder City. And you can see a whole bunch of tires. It's an old dock here. It's a weird thing I never thought I'd be doing today, or ever. I just worked my way across all these tires. There's the store and the restaurant over there. So this marks the end of section 2.